Greetings, pen pals. This is going to be a very, very different type of video today. I normally review pens. I normally review inks. Today I'm going to be talking about some of my favorite pairings of pens and inks. And they may be a favorite pairing for various reasons. Maybe the ink just looks good in the pen, or maybe they match each other really, really well, or maybe I just like them together for whatever reason. So we got a lot of pens and a lot of inks to talk about, so let's get right to it. The first pen up is this Diplomat Aero, which is a really, really nice pen. This is in anodized aluminum. It's a hefty pen. It's got some nice weight to it, but it's in this really nice orange color. And the ink I have it paired with is Robert Oster Orange Zest. So again, this is just one of my combos that I happen to really like the way it works. So we have here a Diplomat Aero. And this is, ink is Robert Oster Orange Zest. So there we go. It's Diplomat Aero, Robert Oster Orange Zest. Nice combo. Next up is this Platinum Prefonte, which is a fairly new pen. This is sort of like an upgraded version of the Platinum Preppy, but this is in this really nice emerald green color, and I have it paired with TWSBI Emerald Green. So this is a Platinum Prefonte, and the ink is TWSBI Emerald Green. If you remember the review for this pen, I was a little disappointed that it is a green pen, but it came with a blue cartridge. So this ink, I think, kind of saved the day here, because it does go very, very nicely with the pen. Next up is one that I just think the ink and the pen just match each other so nicely. So this is the Jinhao Centennial. This is a fairly new pen. It's essentially a Jinhao rip-off or copy or homage to the vintage Parker Duofold Big Red pen, which will make an appearance later on in this video. But this is the this particular one is, as I said, is the Jinhao Centennial, and this ink is Diamine Autumn Oak. It's just a very, very nice, nice pairing, and I think just goes really, really well. Complements the pen well, etc., and so forth. Diamine Autumn Oak. Nice pen, by the way. I'm a big fan of this. It's sort of one of Jinhao's better pens. All right, next up, in terms of matching pen to the ink, this might be about as good as it gets. So this next one is a Noodler's Ahab, and this particular finish on the pen is called the Arizona finish. And there you go. So that really is just a beautiful finish. Now you could probably guess which ink this is. This, of course, is Noodler's Apache Sunset. And this just goes super well with this pen. So that's Noodler's Apache Sunset. All right. Next up is another case where just the pen, the color of the pen itself and the ink just go great together. So this is a Visconti Breeze in this very, very bright green color, and so we have, like I said, so we have Visconti Breeze, and this ink is Herbin Vert Pre. So here we go. This is a very, very light colored green. This ink is so light you could actually use it as a highlighter, but it's okay for writing as well too. But it just goes, I think, goes just absolutely spectacularly with this pen. This is one of the best sort of just straight up pen ink matches that I have. Great, great, great pairing. Next up is another ink from, this pen is a Bexley Corona. Now it has this really nice sort of gold and brown finish with strips of white and dark brown going through it. So this you could pair this with a lot of different inks, but I've always, I think, since as long as I've had this pen, paired it with Noodler's golden brown. Now, Noodler's golden brown is a great color, but best that I can tell, this ink never dries effectively. This might be one of the worst smearing inks that I've ever seen, particularly on Tomoe River paper. This is Fabriano paper, not Tomoe River, but on Tomoe River in particular, it really smears something awful. But anyway, this is a nice pairing as far as I can tell. Bexley Corona and Noodler's golden brown. And like I said, Noodler's golden brown. Nice ink, but boy, oh boy, does it smear. All right, next up is a pairing. Is sort of kind of you may think a little odd just to be like it so much as a pairing, but I really, really do for a couple of reasons. One, there's sort of the issue of what I guess we'll call just sort of brand compatibility and brand allegiance. Sometimes you have a pen from a particular brand, maybe you're inclined to use ink from that brand, and sometimes it just feels right to me. So here I have an Aurora 88. This pen is black and sterling silver. Could theoretically put any ink in here and it would go just fine. So this is an Aurora 88. But of course, the ink that I am going to pair this with, as if there was any doubt in anybody's mind, is good old Aurora black. Nothing else would feel right to me in this pen. A couple of things. One, it's a great black. I mean, it's a fantastic ink, the Aurora black. When on high quality paper like Tomoe River paper, it does dry. It dries with almost like a gloss or sheen to it. And given this is a high gloss black pen, again, I just think it goes really, really well. So again, I just feel it feels right to me whenever I pair this particular pen and ink. So that is what I do. All right, next up is a very, very big pen. This is a Ranga Model 5. So this is let me post this thing so you not post it. I'm put the cap on. It's just a big pen. Here it is compared to the Aurora, for example. As you can see, the Aurora is not a small pen. But this is a Ranga Model 5. Really, really great pen. I just love this red color, and I have a great color red ink to go with it. So this is, like we said, so this is a Ranga Model 5. This also has a number 8 Bach 18 karat nib, so that's why this is in broad. So that's why this is just so wet and broad. It's just right. It's great. Anyway, the ink is Birmingham, Fred Rogers, Cardigan red. Birmingham, I don't believe, makes this ink anymore, but their whole ink production thing is kind of strange. It goes sort of in batches and fits and starts and stuff, so I don't think they make this ink anymore. You may still be able to get it from somewhere, but this is just a great, great ink. I really like it, and I think goes really, really well with this particular pen, and that's the only ink I've ever had in this pen, as long as I've had it, actually. So there we go. All right. Next up is a vintage pen with a non-vintage ink. So we have a Parker Duofold. Ooh, sorry for the messy writing. And this is from the 1920s, I think from around 1926, if I dated this pen properly, approximately. You can date them based on the type of cap band and a few other feet and the way the imprint is and a few other features of the pen. But this particular model is what they call the Big Red. Of course, it's a big pen, and it's orange, but they call it a big red pen. And so this ink that goes with it, which I think matches the pen really, really well, is Nemosine, Solar Storm, 1859. I don't think they make this anymore either. I don't think Nemosine even sells inks anymore. You may be able to pick a bottle of this up on the aftermarket. It's a great, great ink. I really, really like it. And Nemosine inks all come in this really pretty bottle, or they came. Like I said, I'm not even sure they're still in the ink game. But really, really, really nice ink, and I just really like the way it goes. It goes with this vintage pen. Really, really nice. All right. Next up is a real basic pairing, but I just really like it. So this is a Pelikan M600 in these classic green stripes. You don't get any more iconic than that. And this ink is just basic Pelikan, dark green. Why not, right? I got my Pelikan very, very basic pen, and I got my Pelikan very, very basic ink. This is not like one of the fancy Edelstein inks or anything like that. This is just your standard Pelikan 4001 line, dark green, or dunkelgrün, as they would say in German. But I really like it, and I think it's a great pairing. All right, if you recall, I said there's lots of different reasons why I might be fond of a particular pen ink pairing. So this is a Wingsung 618. It's a great pen. It's one of my absolute favorite pens. Might be my favorite sub $20 pen of all time. Great pen. This Wingsung 618 is a transparent demonstrator. Everything's transparent, including the feed. I just love the way this Noodler's Dragon's Napalm looks in the pen. So that's, again, one of the reasons why it's one of my favorite pairings. So we have Noodler's Dragon's Napalm. Just looks great inside this pen. So you could see when you unscrew it, you could see the way it looks in the feed. You could see it, even the hood of the nib. You can see the ink underneath the hood of the nib. I just really like that whole look. So there we go. So here we have a Wingsung 618. And this ink is Noodler's Dragon's Napalm. And again, just great look. Noodler's Dragon's Napalm, I think I said this in my review, it's a very unusual ink. Depending on the lighting, it'll either look orange or pink, depending on the type of lighting you have. So really interesting ink. All right, next up is another really huge pen from Ranga. This is a Ranga Splendour in this brown acrylic. This is the only acrylic pen I have from Ranga. All the other pens I have from Ranga are ebonite, but this is this beautiful, rich acrylic in various shades of brown. Really looks great. So we have a Ranga Splendour. That's how they spell it. And this ink is Monteverde Sweet Life Chocolate Pudding. Oop. And here we go with this one. This is part of their Sweet Life line. It's a whole bunch of inks themed after desserts. This is the chocolate pudding one. Really nice ink. I just love the way it goes with this pen. Just terrific pairing, and I've been very happy with this pairing for a while. All right, next one is, again, it's sort of like a brand pairing, plus I think it just goes really nice. So this is a Pilot Vanishing Point Fermo. So I'm going to put an Iroshizuku ink in it, of course. And again, it doesn't match exactly color-wise, but this to me is a very functional pen, a straight up, functional choice of a pen. And as that, I put what I think to be Iroshizuku's most sort of basic and functional ink, which is Kon-Peki. So we have Iroshizuku Kon-Peki in our Vanishing Point Fermo. So just to remind everybody, this is like the normal Vanishing Point, except you twist to extend the nib. There we go. And, it's built slightly different than a normal Vanishing Point. But anyway, so we have a Pilot Vanishing Point. Fermo. And this ink is Iroshizuku Kon-Peki. Really, really happy with that pairing. I actually had Noodler's Base Date Blue in this pen for a while, and to dispel any myths that Noodler's Base Date Blue is destructive and stuff like that, I literally had that for a few years. I had Base Date Blue in this pen with absolutely no ill effects whatsoever. So there you go. But I'm just happy with this pairing. I like to put Iroshizuku inks in my Pilot pens, so this one is no exception. All right, next up is another one where I just think it just goes well together. So here we have a Platinum 3776 Century. And this particular finish is called Bourgogne. Like burgundy, whatever in French. But this is this deep red, really pretty burgundy finish. So, of course, I'm going to use a French ink. I'm going to use a French ink with a French name that's almost the same as the finish on the pen. So we've got Herbin Rouge Bourgogne in here. So this ink is Herbin Rouge Bourgogne. Urgone. So I'm butchering both my French pronunciation and the spelling, but there you go. So this is that's how you spell it. But great ink. I'm pretty sure this is the only ink I've ever used in this pen, as long as I've had it, if memory serves me correctly. But I just like the match on this. This to me is just a spot-on match, and I really like the way it really like the way it looks. All right, next up is another one that just matches really well. So this pen is the Kaweco Student 70s Soul version. It's this sort of creamy off-white with this sort of creamsicle, sort of orange color sitting there. So the ink I have that paired with is this another ink from Birmingham, which I'm pretty sure they don't make anymore. It's called Albert Einstein Relative Cadmium, but it just matches so well, as you're about to see. This orange creamsicle kind of finish. So this is a Kaweco Student 70s Soul, and this ink is Birmingham, got a long name, Albert Einstein Relative Cadmium. So there you go. I just think that matches so nicely, and very pleased that I actually found this pairing. I was a little proud of myself when I first figured out that this would go so well. So this I've been very happy with this pairing as well. All right, next up we have another ink that sort of ticks the brand loyalty box, so to speak. So this pen is the Pelikan M805 Ocean Swirl. This was a special edition version with just beautiful colors and swirls and all that. I have a full video on this. You should check it out. Great pen. So we have a Pelikan M805 Ocean Swirl. But the ink is just a plain old Pelikan turquoise. It just goes so nicely. Again, nothing, no special edition, no Edelstein, nothing like that, but good old Pelikan turquoise. And again, very happy with the way that pairs. Looks, I think that match is just terrific. I honestly couldn't think of a better ink to pair that with. I'm sure you folks in the comments will have several suggestions, but I've been very happy with this particular pairing. All right, next one up for sure wins the cool bottle contest. So this, and you probably know what I'm about to say. Once I said it wins the cool bottle contest, of course, I'm talking about an Ackerman ink in these cool flask bottles. And this particular Ackerman ink is Ackerman SBRE Brown. And the pen I have it paired with is this beautiful Lotus Vamsa. This is a handmade pen in ebonite from India. Gorgeous finish. Just love this pen. Deep, various shades of brown. Fantastic. Coming up with which of my many browns to put in it was a challenge, because a lot of different browns could go in here. But this is one of my favorite brown pens, and I'm putting one of my favorite brown inks in it. So this is a Lotus Vamsa, and this ink is Ackerman SBRE Brown. That is named after Stephen Brown, the sort of reigning king of YouTube fountain pen reviewers. But great ink. Might be one of my favorite browns. I know I've been promising a comprehensive brown ink review video. It will be forthcoming. That is definitely the next color that is up to bat for sure. All right, and the last but not least, we have one that goes just because it does. So I have this nice sparkly pen. This is a Jinhao X750 in what they call the Shimmering Sands finish. So it's got a lot of sparkle in it. So of course we want an ink with a lot of sparkle in it. And the first thing that comes to mind when we say ink with sparkle in it, first thing you should be thinking of course, is J. Herbin Emerald of Chivor, and that is exactly what is in this pen. So here we have a Jinhao X750. X750. This does, however, have a Goulet stub nib in it. And this ink is J. Herbin Emerald of Chivor. All right, there we go. And again, nothing particular about that pairing other than the fact that we're talking about a sparkly pen with sparkly ink. Well. That is a bunch of my favorite pen ink pairings. Speaking of favorites, it would be super nice if you all could please like, comment, share, and subscribe. That would just be awesome. Check this statistic out right here. It looks like the vast majority of you watching this are not subscribers. Please become one. At any rate, I hope you enjoyed this video. I know I certainly enjoyed making it. A little different this week, but I hope you liked it. And as always, until we see each other again, have a great day. Bye-bye.